Hi, this is Mr. Talat Abbas. Today we are going to have a look on the following topics: mode of action of heart, the cardiac cycle, and blood pressure. The cardiac cycle. Before going to start the cardiac cycle, we have to recall our memory for the chambers of heart. This is right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. You may see there are the valves present. For the right side of the heart, these valves are called tricuspid valves. For left, we have bicuspid or mitral valves. These two valves, as they are separating atria to ventricle, we call them atrioventricular valves. And similarly, when you check from ventricle, the blood will move out of the heart. From right side, it is moving towards lungs through pulmonary artery. Here we have semilunar valves, and from left side to the aorta, again we have semilunar valves. These are semilunar valves. Now, before going to start the cardiac cycle, we have to come across these two terminologies. One is systole and the other one is diastole. When we say systole, it means that contraction. When we say diastole, it means relaxation. There is a lot of detail in it. It summarizes the entire cardiac cycle. Now we'll try to make it as simplest as possible. One complete heartbeat, that is contraction and relaxation of atria and contraction and relaxation of ventricle, is called a complete heartbeat. Keep it in your mind that contraction will be systole and relaxation will be diastole. Blood pressure. The force of blood exerted on blood vessel wall, that is blood pressure. It is highest during ventricle systole, when blood is forced into the arteries. Now it varies from person to person and different parts of the body. Systolic pressure is usually 120 to 140 mm of mercury, and diastolic pressure will be 75 to 90 mm of mercury, which is normal. And the ideal blood pressure will be 120 by 80 mm Hg. If this number increases, like let's suppose 140 by 90 or more than this, it is considered to be high blood pressure. Now the high blood pressure, it may be, you can say, because of heavy exercise, when the person is angry, that is because of emotion, or because of age. But if this blood pressure, which is high, it persists, so it is a dangerous medical condition and the person may see the doctor or follow medical advice. Now coming back towards pressure changes in the heart, that is actual cardiac cycle, we have to have a look on this part. Now what this part indicates, here we have this blue colored, you may see that there is a blue line. This blue colored line, here it shows pressure. This is the pressure in atria. This is the pressure representing atrium. Now you may see this is the line of pressure. It is depicting pressure in ventricle. Now here this light purple line, this representing pressure in aorta. Here we have to see the graph in two ways. One, that is pressure mm of Hg, and here times in second. Now see this. Here this part is actually ventricle systole and the other one will be ventricle diastole. These red colored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, these are actually the representing time in seconds, that is 0.1 second, 0.2, 0.3 and so on. Here when you see 0.1, at this point it represents that it is the area where atria contracts. Atria contract means atria systole. Atria systole, that is slightly increase in pressure. Atria contracts and blood flows into the ventricle. When there is atrial systole, AV valves closed. At this point here, AV valves are closed. Blood is flowing in to the ventricles. When the blood is there in the ventricle, this is the time, this is the point. It is a very shorter period of time when the blood is in the ventricle. All the valves, whether it is AV or semilunar valves, they are closed at this point. AV valves are closed, and here at this resting period, or you may say that all the valves are closed. Now what will happen at this point? You may notice that at this 0.3 second, when the pressure in the ventricle increases, and it increases from the pressure of aorta. Aorta is having pressure that is 80 mm of Hg. When ventricular pressure, when the pressure is increasing and it reaches to this point, that is the aortic pressure, which is 80 mm of Hg here, the ventricular pressure, when it overcomes this pressure of aorta, the blood will enter into, it is ejected into the aorta, so that it will be supplied to all parts of the body. Here you have to notice at this point where blood is moving out, that is ventricular systole, the whole blood is ejected into the aorta as the pressure in the ventricle is increasing to the pressure of aorta. Now here what is happening? The pressure drops down. Pressure is dropping down in the ventricles. Once again, pressure is going down significantly, and there is a certain point of this isovolumetric relaxation. It is just opposite to isovolumetric contraction here. This is isovolumetric relaxation. Volume in the blood in ventricle is constant here. Then once it is done, the ventricle relaxation, atria relaxation is also done. Then the blood is entering into the ventricles. This is the point when blood is coming into the atria from the lungs and from rest of the body to the ventricles. You may see this point when blood is entering into the ventricles. Here the cycle completes. Once again, this is the point where atria contracts, atria systole, and the cycle begins to continue. Yes, students, once a quick sum up once again. It is the point 1 where atria systole and blood is entering into the ventricles. At this point, AV valves are closed. Here, isometric or isovolumic contraction occurs. At this stage, when we are saying isovolumic, the volume of blood in the ventricle will not increase. It is constant. All the valves, whether it is AV valves or semilunar valves, they are closed. It's a very shorter period of time. Now when it reaches to this pressure, which is increasing or more than aortic pressure, more than 80 mm of Hg, it will enter, blood is ejected into the aorta. And here you may notice the pressure in the atrium, the pressure in the ventricle is decreasing. It's significantly decreasing pressure. This is the point just opposite to isovolumetric contraction. This is isovolumetric relaxation. Here is a significant drop in pressure. Now there is a time when ventricle starts to fill in with the blood from both the parts, that is from the lungs and from the whole parts of the body. Once again, this cycle continues when atria contracts and it is going on. Now I have few questions which I have taken from past year papers related to the same graph. This is according to the question paper, question number 16. In the paper you may see it's of O-level biology, paper 1, November 2008. This is the question which they have asked. They have already mentioned that this is the line of pressure. It is representing pressure in the atrium. This is pressure in the ventricle, and this is the pressure in aorta. Now you may notice this is W, this is X, Y, and this is Z. They are asking the question, the pressure changes in the aorta and the left side of the heart during one cardiac cycle. Now, at which points does the bicuspid valves open and closed? Now, you know these are the points where bicuspid valves, that is, you may see mitral valves they are talking about, bicuspid valves are closed. This is the point when it is closed. So when you see W, it should be closed. You have to check where it is. This is the part where it is mentioning closed. So you have to have a look on it. So only one area where it is showing it is closed, Z when it is open. So this is the area, or this is the answer of this question, which you can easily identify. Another question of same type. Students, you may find so many questions related to blood pressure, the cardiac cycle, or these graphs. So what you have to do, just you have to have a look on it carefully, watch this whole link. Again, if you have any query, you may ask about it. Here the pressure changes in the left side of the heart during a single heartbeat. Again, they have mentioning time in seconds and pressure. So here you may see with the dotted line, straight line, and again the dots and the dash. So here it is pressure in atrium, in ventricle, this is for ventricle, and this is for aorta. Right? Now between point W and X are the following valves open or closed. Now you have to check W and X, W and X. Now what will happen? You know that at this stage it will be volumetric, isovolumetric contraction. All the valves should be closed. So you have to check A, that is atrioventricular valve, and semilunar valves are closed and closed. So only one option is there which is having it is closed. So the answer would be A. There is one more question related to it. Again it is showing change in pressure left side of the heart while it is at rest during a single heartbeat. Now check what is the number of times that this person's heart beats in 1 minute while at rest. This is 1 minute. It's about a person's heartbeat. In a minute, 60, 70, 100, 120. In a minute you must know that there are 60 seconds and it is in per second. So here it is complete heartbeat starting from this side till atrial contraction, and then again it is ending here, so that from this part another cycle starts. Now from 0 to 0.6 it is in a second, right? So you have to check. How can you check? You have to divide this number by 60. So when you divide 60 by 0.6, you will get the answer. Now what you have to do? You have to just go to past paper questions related to cardiac cycle, have a look on it, solve them and discuss it. Hope you enjoy this session. Thank you very much.